Ernest appears, mopping his hair, which has become very wet since we last saw him. He is not bearing malice, he is too busy drying, but Agatha is specially his champion.
It's infamous! Infamous!
Strongly.
My orders, Agatha.
Now, father, please.
Striking an attitude.
Before I give you any further orders, Crichton.
Yes, my lord.
Delighted.
Pooh, it's all right.
No, please go on.
Well, well, this question of the leadership. What do you think now, Crichton?
My lord, I feel it is a matter with which I have nothing to do.
Excellent. Ha! Mary? That settles it, I think.
It seems to, but I'm not sure.
It will settle itself naturally, my lord, without any interference from us.
The reference to nature gives general dissatisfaction.
Father?
A little severely.
It settled itself long ago, Crichton, when I was born a peer and you, for instance, was born a servant.
Acquiescing.
Yes, my lord, that was how it all came about quite naturally in England. We had nothing to do with it there, and we shall have as little to do with it here.
Relieved.
That's all right.
Determined to clinch the matter.
One moment. In short, Crichton, his lordship will continue to be our natural head.
I dare say, my lady, I dare say.
But you must know.
Asking your pardon, my lady, one can't be sure. On an island.
They look at each other uneasily. Warningly.
Crichton, I don't like this.
Harassed.
The more I think of it, your lordship, the more uneasy I become myself. When I heard, my lord, that you had left that hairpin behind.
He is pained. Feebly.
One hairpin among so many would only have caused dissension.
Very sorry to have to contradict him.
Not so, my lord. From that hairpin we could have made a needle. With that needle we could, out of skins, have sewn trousers, of which your lordship is in need. Indeed, we are all in need of them.
Suddenly self-conscious.
All?
On an island, my lady.
Father!
Really more distressed by the prospect than she.
My lady, if nature does not think them necessary, you may be sure she will not ask you to wear them.
Shaking his head.
But among all this undergrowth.
Now you see this man in his true colours.
Violently.
Crichton, you will either this moment say, "Down with nature."
Scandalized.
My lord.
Loftily.
Then this is my last word to you. Take a month's notice.
If the hut had a door, he would now shut it to indicate that the interview is closed. In great distress.
Your lordship, the disgrace.
Swelling.
Not another word. You may go.
Adamant.
And don't come to me, Crichton, for a character.
Whose immersion has cleared his brain.
Aren't you all forgetting that this is an island?
This brings them to earth with a bump. Lord Loam looks to his eldest daughter for the fitting response. Equal to the occasion.
It makes only this difference, that you may go at once, Crichton, to some other part of the island.
The faithful servant has been true to his superiors ever since he was created, and never more true than at this moment. But his fidelity is founded on trust in nature, and to be untrue to it would be to be untrue to them. He lets the wood he has been gathering slip to the ground, and bows his sorrowful head. He turns to obey. Then affection for these great ones wells up in him.
My lady, let me work for you.
Go.
You need me so sorely. I can't desert you, I won't.
In alarm, lest the others may yield.
Then, father, there is but one alternative. We must leave him.
Lord Loam is looking yearningly at Crichton.
It seems a pity.
Forlornly.
You will work for us?
Most willingly. But I must warn you all that, so far, Crichton has done 9/10 of the scoring.
The question is, are we to leave this man?
Wrapping himself in his dignity.
Come, my dears.
My lord.
Treherne, Ernest, get our things.
We don't have any, uncle. They all belong to Crichton.
Everything we have he brought from the wreck. He went back to it before it sank. He risked his life.
My lord, anything you care to take is yours.
Quickly.
Nothing.
Rot. If I could have your socks, Crichton.
Come, father, we are ready.
Followed by the others, she and Lord Loam pick their way up the rocks. In their indignation they scarcely notice that daylight is coming to a sudden end.
My lord, I implore you, I am not desirous of being had. Do you have a try at it, my lord?
Outraged.
A try at it?
Eagerly.
It may be that you will prove to be the best man.
May be. My children, come.
They disappear proudly in single file.
Crichton, I'm sorry, but of course I must go with him.
Certainly, sir.
He calls to Tweeny, and she comes from behind the hut, where she has been watching breathlessly.
Will you be so kind, sir, as to take her to the others?
Assuredly.
But what do it all mean?
Does, Tweeny, does.
He passes her up the rocks to Treherne.
We shall meet again soon, Tweeny. Good night, sir.
Good night. I dare say they are not far away.
Thoughtfully.
They went westward, sir, and the wind is blowing in that direction. That may mean, sir, that Nature is already taking the matter into her own hands. They are all hungry, sir, and the pot has come a-boil.
He takes off the lid.
The smell will be borne westward. That pot is full of nature, Mr. Treherne. Good night, sir.
Good night.
He mounts the rocks with Tweeny, and they are heard for a little time after their figures are swallowed up in the fast-growing darkness. Crichton stands motionless, the lid in his hand, though he has forgotten it and his reason for taking it off the pot. He is deeply stirred, but presently is ashamed of his dejection, for it is as if he doubted his principles. Bravely true to his faith that nature will decide now as ever before, he proceeds manfully with his preparations for the night. He lights a ship's lantern, one of several treasures he has brought ashore, and is filling his pipe with crumbs of tobacco from various pockets, when the stealthy movements of some animal in the grass startles him. With the lantern in one hand and his cutlass in the other, he searches the ground around the hut. He returns, lights his pipe, and sits down by the fire, which casts weird moving shadows. There is a red gleam on his face. In the darkness he is a strong and perhaps rather sinister figure. In the great stillness that has fallen over the land, the wash of the surf seems to have increased in volume. The sound is indescribably mournful. Except where the fire is, desolation has fallen on the island like a pall. Once or twice, as nature dictates, Crichton leans forward to stir the pot, and the smell is borne westward. He then resumes his silent vigil. Shadows other than those cast by the fire begin to descend the rocks. They are the adventurers returning. One by one they steal nearer to the pot until they are squatted round it, with their hands out to the blaze. Lady Mary only is absent. Presently she comes within sight of the others, then stands against a tree with her teeth clenched. One wonders, perhaps, what nature is to make of her. End of Act 2.